Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my YouTube channel, Shankhanath. Last video, I had mentioned how the confidence of the Indian Defence Forces grew post Balakot. Today, we are going to speak about taming of the dragon. 3rd July 2020, a place named Nimu, which is very close to Leh. Prime Minister Mr. Modi was there to address the Jawans who have newly inducted in that area from Mountain Division. They were still acclimatizing and training to work in that area. In his address to them, he said, "A brave heart protects the motherland with the power of weapons. This land," he said, "is for the brave. So, our support, strength and resolve for the defense and security is as high as Himalaya." "I can see this ability and resolve in your eyes," he said. He said, "I can clearly see it on your faces too." The weak cannot initiate peace. Bravery is a precondition to peace, he said. This morale boosting message was signaling of India's strategic intent that ran too deep. The army generals, mind you, were listening to this very intently. This was the starting point for what happened on 31st of August 2020 in eastern Ladakh. The newly inducted Mountain Division finalized the plan on somewhere around 24th of August 2020. And what was the plan? The plan was to take over the heights closer to a lake which is south of Pengang Lake. The name of the lake is Sapgur Lake. Now, this lake is under control of Chinese. However, it is surrounded by peaks, and if these peaks are taken or dominated by us, then the Spangur Lake and the Baul, where Chinese have a base, can be seen and kept under control. So it was decided to take these heights. So this well acclimatized and trained force, which I talked about earlier, moved up and during night took over and occupied many heights like Blacktop, Helmet, Magar, Gurung Hills, and right up till Renzala and Rechala. By La, we mean pass. So these two passes also were under our control now. We had anticipated that Chinese will move in near the heights which we occupied. So we anticipated that and took over before them. The Chinese definitely resisted, not once but twice, but because of the intent of the Indian soldiers, they had to move back. And we occupied these very important heights. Mind you, the Black Top hill and our post there overlooks Finger 4 in North Pengang. We all have read about the comics about Phantom. The Phantom, the ghost who walks, the guardian of eastern dark, the man who cannot die. This time around, the Phantom was reborn and the new avatar was Special Frontier Force. These people moved with like a shadow. They were not seen at all by anybody, and they completed their task of domination of these peaks within 12 hours. The Special Frontier Force or Establishment 22, who are called as 22, are highly trained paratroopers and commandos who are well versed with art of ambush, demolition, survival and sabotage too. This force was formed way back in 1962. It is not a new force, but very little is known about them. It was supposedly formed of members drawn from amongst the Tibetan youth who fled to India with Dalai Lama. These forces report directly to Prime Minister and work under the wings of Indian Secret Service establishment, that is RAW, Research and Analysis Wing. They were basically formed for covert operations behind the enemy lines in case of any war. They infiltrated as guerrillas and destroyed enemy lines of communications, damaged their roads, airfields, radar installations. For what? For diverting the attention of enemy forces from our Indian forces. They participated in almost all major operations. In 1971, they were tasked to secure the Chitgaon Hills. They did some job in Operation Blue Star in 1984, and again in 1984, they were used for Operation Meghdoot in Siachen Glacier. Of course, in 1999, they were involved in Op Vijay also, that is Kargil. Why this time around then this force has been brought to limelight? We need to think about this. Why there is a presence of these forces has been acknowledged openly. To me, it appears to be the first step taken towards challenging the dragon grip with help of Tibetan population. Gone are those days when policy makers in India used to desist from taking steps which will annoy the Chinese. This is new India. We need to understand that if China has to fight India in East Ladakh, then definitely it has to be from Tibet region. And if they have to fight from Tibet region, then if we can cultivate the Tibetan youth to fight for India, and of course in turn to fight for the cause for an independent Tibet, then it will be very advantageous to us. SFF, that is Special Frontier Force action in August 20, must have had a positive influence on the youth of Tibet. So, we now appear to be ready to use this dedicated Tibetan force for our interest against China. Now, I'd like to tell you that if we extend this theory to many other Asian countries bordering China, and how I intend to do, I will tell you now. These all countries are affected by Chinese expansionist policy. A look at the map which I am showing you will clearly indicate that proper China, that means the main China, before they annexed some land from others, was not as large as you see in the map. The magenta color shows the original China. Thereafter, China kept on annexing land from all other neighbors. Now, to establish their control over this land, they used historic precedents with countries like Mongolia, Laos, Cambodia, North Korea, Vietnam and Tajikistan. Whereas other countries like Japan, India, Nepal, Russia, Singapore, Philippines, South Korea, Bhutan, Brunei, Indonesia as well as Malaysia, their claim was based just unilaterally. They didn't give any other reason. Unilaterally they decided that this is our land and took over. Now these countries were very, very unhappy with Chinese approach. So they will definitely be ready to join hands with India to resist this China's expansionist policy. The enemy of my enemy is my friend is an ancient proverb which we all know, which suggests that two parties can come together or should work together against a common enemy. All these nations will be aware that the way the present standoff against China and India is going on, very soon these activities can be replicated by China with these countries also. Other reasons why these nations will be wanting and willingly join India against China is that India plays a very leading role in Asian region. Secondly, their belief in democratic process for governance is a very important aspect for these countries. And the way India has handled this present situation, the present crisis, will definitely give confidence to these countries about India's capability and capacity to challenge the dragon. However, will these countries just help us out on our request? Definitely not. What we need to do is we need to befriend them. That friendliness can start from trade, few cultural exchanges and some confidence building measures also. The trade we lost out on with China can be gained from countries like Japan, Malaysia, Philippines, South Korea, Singapore, even Vietnam. After this befriending, then we can move to military exchanges. All these countries are ready to resist the expansionist policy of China because of the reasons which I told you about. Chinese military strength will definitely get badly divided if all these countries stand against China. And if, I will give you an example for this. If suppose all these countries just decide to move their military might or military forces towards the border of China, then China's numerological advantage will be badly lost, because now they will have to move their forces to all the fronts around them. That is why I said, if all these countries get together, then it will be definitely possible to face China. We already have stitched a pact with US, Australia, Japan. We have named it Quad. This is for maintaining peace within sea routes. And over and above this also, US has promised India to help to fight against China if required. However, given the trade relations and the interest US has in China, should we believe them? And should we rely on their promises is the question. Our long-standing military partnership with Russia is also likely to get affected if we go and get cozier to US. If China is our neighbor, mind you, and if we have to fight with our neighbor, it will be a short time available kind of a conflict. Can we rely on long distance friends like US for this? The answer is self-explanatory. We should not have any doubt that India has courage to fight. It has capable forces. Indian infantry is known to be the best to fight in mountainous terrain. So, we are ready to face China. But what about finance? Our financial position, will it help us to sustain a long-term war? We need to think about it, and the answers are very clear. So, why not take help of Asian neighbors? I think this will be the best policy. Whether the government is thinking on these lines or not is a $1 million question. However, according to me, the very use of SFF so openly, first time in last 6 decades in eastern Ladakh region, indicates that yes, we are wanting to do this. Starting from Tibet, we should be moving eastwards and have a friendship with all the nations with border China. And with their help, definitely the might of China can be challenged. So, whoever is claiming or having a border with China is a common enemy for China. So, just because we share a common enemy, can we be sure that they will be our friends? Not exactly. That is why I said friendship needs to be established first, and then the military activity can start. We need to move ahead and extend our hand of friendship with all these countries, and I am mighty sure that they will fall in place because they also have much to gain. Firstly, the expansionist policy of China will get curbed, and these nations may get their land which has been annexed by China. We are in a very, very difficult times. We need to understand. COVID has brought down the morale of entire world. So in these difficult times, if we have to deal with the dragon, then we need to have friends with us. And which friends? Rather, having a neighbor is any day much, much better. So, all these countries and we are having a common goal of taming the dragon. So, we should move ahead and try out this. It won't be so long to know whether the government is thinking on this policy or not. But I hope it has been thought, and some indications have already been given by the defense minister by his recent visit to Iran also. So let's hope that we do get into something which has not been tried out for over 6 decades. The newfound confidence will have to be used now only, because now is the requirement of this newfound confidence to be used. I hope the way we are planning out our move becomes successful, and we are successful in achieving the common goal with all our Asian countries, that is taming the dragon. Jai Hind.